You started working at Villa Blanca a year after you got to LA, or immediately after?
No, it was actually a few years after I got to LA. It's really hard getting a bartending job in LA because everybody wants their days free for auditions, and they want to be able to bartend at night. So, I mean, getting a bartending or serving job in LA is one of the hardest things to do. Like, it's like getting on a huge law firm or something here or anywhere else. I feel like it's just everybody's trying to get their friend the job. You know, everyone's trying. A lot of places are overstaffed because they have such an abundance of people coming in. So it's tough. You know, it's tough out there in LA.
And that dynamic you have with the rest of the cast, you had already been friends.
Yes.
And so then when the filming started, were relationships changed once the filming started, or?
It definitely adds a lot of pressure to your relationships, to your friends. You know, I've known Jax for 10 years, and to be honest, you know, getting more closer to Jax has like been hard to do, and it's really kind of bit me in the ass in a lot of ways. But you know, it's just tough because on a show like that, like our show is, you know, it's different in a lot of ways because it's not casted. We all have known each other for a very long time. We're all very close, and so really, I mean, it's just a real show.
Right, because now you're in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
With people you've already known, and now it's like, well, wait, what is true? What's not true? Did these people really say it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's no way to really know what is true other than you know yourself that you didn't do something or that somebody else didn't do something.
Yeah,
you know.
and there's also, too, a lot of, the big difference, too, especially, you know, with being on the show is that, you know, if, let's say me and you had, like, as friends, had, like, an argument, like, last night when we were drinking or whatever, I would just text you the next day and be like, hey, sorry about last night. You'd be like, yeah, don't worry about it. So what are you doing later? Whatever. Not a big deal. But on this show, it's like, you got to talk about it. You can't just text, like, because the audience wants to they don't want to sit there and read text on a phone. They want you to talk about it. So you have to confront people and tell them how you feel, and that maybe you did think they were wrong, and then they think you're wrong, and then it just kind of escalates. But it's all very real, and it's intense. It's very intense.
It's got to be hard for some of the people who are on the show to see how they come across when they may not actually be that way in real life. Not you yourself. You seem like one of the most down to earth on there as well. Tom Schwartz and.
Well, thank you. Also. I really do try to stay very true to myself on the show. If anything, this season, I feel like I've been, if anything, a little more introverted than normal, just for the simple fact that I feel like it's like I'm constantly being blindsided by more things. So in a way, to me, it's like, I mean, Stassi and Jax seem to love that shit, but I don't. I don't like confrontation. I do not like drama. I don't like that kind of attention. I'd rather get attention on stage or like from like performance of some sort. So yes, so I would say that after this season of the show, like, I feel like I've really grown as a person as to what I can handle in live situations. Being blindsided, I feel like I'm just that much more comfortable in my skin and as to who I am as a person.
Now, when you guys went to Cabo, did you know it was for Stassi's birthday, or did she really need to remind you?
I kept forgetting, actually, so it was really, I'm really glad that she reminded me, because I just kept forgetting. I'm like, wait, what's today? Oh, it's your birthday. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, at least she kept you guys on track. You knew why you were there.
Yeah, exactly.
But for even someone like that, it comes across like, oh my God, you've been narcissistic for 2 seasons now. Yeah. Come on, grow up a little. Yeah, but it's hard to be on the other end of the light. You don't know what she's like in real life, or any of the people for that matter.
I mean, she's definitely, I'd say a lot of the people are pretty true to who they are. I mean, Stassi, the thing about it is she has 2 sides to her as far as like her personality goes.
Which is shown.
Yeah, she has that very sweet, cute, you know, side that everybody loves, but it's so yin-yang with like that other side that is just, I mean, it drives me nuts. Like,
it seems like you see that in the confessionals for everybody, of kind of what they're really about, not so much the situations when they're happening, and then you go back and watch it and then comment on it. Do you find that to be true as well?
Yeah, I find that people are a lot of times complete slaves to their emotions,
Yeah.
You know, that they can't take control in the situation and sometimes see the big picture. And I find that a lot of them are very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it really, Stassi kind of, I mean, the way she sort of just kind of manipulates people, it seems like for her own entertainment, to me is a little creepy and disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then, you know, when everything kind of like, when the chaos like ensues and everything explodes, it's like she doesn't want any part of it.
Right. Even though she's the cause of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is one of the things that either, I know you can't talk about what we haven't seen yet, but you guys have kind of laid low this season, both you and Kristen. So far, I mean, a little bit it's kind of been Jackson, Stassi, and now we're kind of getting more of it with Ariana. How uncomfortable is that? It's your real life, and if people are saying things that aren't true, you know they're not true.
Especially watching it, it's really frustrating and uncomfortable. I mean, even seeing like her friends and my friends telling Kristen to break up with me like I'm like some dude she's been dating for 2 weeks.
Right.
You know, to me, it shows a lack of like compassion in knowing your friend. You know, because if they really stopped and thought about it, it's like she's just acting that way because she loves me.
Right.
You know, she's very much in love with me, and I feel like anybody could see that except them. And I know I personally would never say that to any one of my friends,
mm-hmm.
unless they were, you know, in danger or whatever. But then I would just say, like, leave the country or something. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like, yes, it is very uncomfortable, and it's very annoying because I feel like a lot of people sort of make it their mission to sort of kind of bring conflict into our relationship, mm-hmm. and to sort of instigate things.
And it's nobody's business.
It's really none of their business.
There's two people in your relationship, and that's how it should be.
Exactly. That's whose business it is, you know, and the reasons for doing it. You know, I mean, Jack's doing it for attention, or just so he can feel like the words coming out of his mouth are actually important, mm-hmm. to Stassi or whoever, is really sort of, I don't know, I've learned a lot about people and the people I surround myself around. And
yeah, well, because sometimes you never know until the crap hits the fan.
Yeah.
You really see people's real true colors.
And also it's crazy to see what people say when you're not around,
mm-hmm.
and the way people act when you're not around. And yeah, it's been a real learning experience. It's definitely made me a stronger person, though. And I haven't lost faith in humanity.
Good.
Just yet.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
What advice would you offer to people who are starting out in either modeling or acting, or see themselves on a reality show like you are?
Oh, well, I'll start with modeling because I've done it for 15 years. I would say with modeling, don't pay for pictures right off the bat, because you should be able to find somebody to take pictures for free, mm-hmm. That's either working on their book. So start that way. Model Mayhem's a good way to start, to get free test shoots and stuff like that. You know, yeah, you might get some crap, you know, but then eventually you'll start getting better and better stuff. And that's and then you can sort of bring that into agencies when they have open calls and stuff like that. Definitely don't obsess over your appearance. Like, it's one of those things that should be easy for you. If it's not easy for you, then you shouldn't be in the industry, mm-hmm. you know. I think sometimes people just take it way overboard, counting every single calorie, you know. I've never lived like that. I mean, I feel like I was blessed with good genetics where it hasn't been super hard, you
right.
know.
I feel your sympathy for me. Thank you, Tom. I feel
it. And I feel like with acting, make sure it's something you really want to do. Make sure it's something you really enjoy, and you're not doing it just for fame, because there's a lot of other things you can do for fame. I mean, granted, it is fun, and that should be something that you look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that you can handle that kind of stuff. Make sure you can handle being the center of attention, because I'll tell you, it's been a lot, even with this show, walking around and getting recognized, because sometimes it's like, at first it's like, it's great, but then there's times, especially even when I'm working or...
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. You must get bombarded with, all of you must get oh, can we get a picture? I mean, you're there to do a job.
Yes.
So, you know, you don't want Lisa walking in and seeing all you're doing is taking pictures and signing autographs.
Yeah, of course. And two, it's tough when, you know, our life is happening, like even when we were filming the show and like, you know, in front of Sir, there's all these people walking around in gay, you know, for gay pride, and me and Chris are having this argument, and then she goes back inside and people are like, hey, can I get a picture? And you're just like,
sure, this is a great time.
like, yeah, sure. Let me put that smile on my face.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, just make sure that you can handle it. You know, because some people, it's really hard for them to handle it. They get frustrated quickly. So I personally am honored every time somebody asks for a picture. For the most part, you know, except if I'm like literally in the middle of doing something, you know. But yeah, I mean, I would say, as far as acting goes, do as much as you can. Do student films. Do, you know, get on camera. Get used to hearing yourself, seeing yourself. Do plays. Practice with friends. Take classes. I think Meisner is a really great route to go because I feel like it simplifies everything. But then go the other side. Go method. Do it all.
Right.
And find whatever sort of connects you to being honest and open in your acting, really. All
right. And the last question is, you're now working with a friend, James Kennedy, on something called Naked Eye.
Yeah. We started working on that. We actually, I'm probably gonna continue on with that, more like collaborating with him maybe and with other people as well. But it's definitely going to be something that is very unique. I feel very unique about it. I do a lot of layering with guitar and effects. It's going to be more synth and electronic sort of percussion and effects. So you're going to kind of get that sort of electronic feel, but you're still going to get the sort of legitimacy that I feel that real instrumentation and live instrumentation brings to music like that. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna cross a lot of genres.
Cool.
So it'll be nice to be able to perform at clubs and also to do venues as well. Like, you know, my goal of course would be to play Coachella. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But the thing about the music that I'm working on is, like, you know, I can play the Sahara tent or the main stage. So.
You also just finished a project called Documenting Trouble.
Yes.
We worked with Kristen.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Yes, we worked on this. It was a sort of documentary following LA gangs, and it's shot sort of documentary style, and me and Kristen actually sort of played ourselves, and it was cool. I mean, a friend of mine, Scott Casey, wrote it, and he did I mean, it's a great, very unique movie about just following a camera crew following and documenting a gang and what they do, but then getting in like too deep and what can happen at that point. So it was a fun experience, and yeah, I'm glad I did it.
And what's the hope for it, to bring it to festivals, to get it?
Yeah, I believe I'm sure it'll end up in festivals, distribution. They're just finishing the edit right now, so.
That's
yeah.
awesome. So you got a lot of movie roles under your belt.
Yeah, actually, and me and Peter are working on a short here. Probably gonna start shooting it right when I get back to LA, and then we got pilot season. So.
Well, your exposure on the show should certainly help you with that.
It does, actually. It's a different game now. You know, it's not like the way it was considered. I mean, long time ago, where, you know, doing reality was like a death to an acting career or whatever. It's in fact quite the opposite. Really now, exposure is exposure. So essentially, I mean, this is just, it's a great launching pad to do many other things.
Well, you're also on a network that does reality well, so.
Yes, exactly. Bravo does a great job. So I'm very glad to be a part of them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tom, for taking the time to do this interview. It's been a
pleasure,
great pleasure of mine, too. Thank you.